Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor in for Mark tonight. Let's get started with news tonight. A man in his 60s beaten to death with a skateboard. Now, months later, a 20-year-old's in jail charged with second-degree murder. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk looks through the case tonight.
That 64-year-old man was attacked near Spokane Community College last February. Witnesses say he wouldn't stop asking a woman for money and was eventually beaten over the head with a skateboard.
20-year-old Sean Shippey appeared in court this evening, 9 months after police say he attacked a homeless man near the Spokane Community College Transit Center. Witnesses say 64-year-old Harold Kahuni approached a woman waiting for the bus and asked her for money and wouldn't leave her alone. Court documents say Shippey interjected himself and tried to pepper spray Kahuni, then chased him around the middle of Trent Avenue before beating him in the head with a skateboard, according to police. Witnesses said the strike was so loud it echoed off nearby buildings. Kahuni died 2 weeks later on March 5th. The medical examiner determined blunt force injuries to the head caused his death. Heart disease and probable methamphetamine use were listed as significant contributory factors.
Your Honor, this is an extremely violent offense.
According to court records, Shippey has a previous assault conviction and has missed 13 court dates in the past 2 years. His public defender asked for a lower bond and told the judge Shippey is disabled. He became emotional when his older sister addressed the court.
He does have disabilities. His disability is autism. So even though he's saying that he understands, he may not. There's a very big possibility that he does not understand what you're saying.
Your Honor, given that, I would ask that you release him and allow him to check in with pretrial services so that he has assistance remembering his court dates.
Mr. Shippey, obviously you don't have much criminal history, but the charges before the court are very significant, and it does raise community safety concerns.
Court Commissioner Eugene Cruz kept bond at $500,000. Shippey is charged with second-degree murder and is scheduled to be back in court December 5th. In Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Kyle, thank you so much. Also new tonight, Spokane police released body camera footage from the holiday weekend showing more than 20 arrests that took place in 7 hours. The department had extra patrols out searching for shoplifters and thieves. This comes less than a week after it was announced a Forbes magazine study found Washington's the #1 state impacted by retail theft. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office investigating tonight after a deadly shooting they're now calling a murder and attempted suicide. The victim was a young girl. Investigators believe she was killed by her adult brother in a domestic violence situation. Witnesses reported seeing an injured girl in the middle of the street and hearing a possible gunshot before the suspect's car quickly drove away. That car was found with the suspect inside 20 minutes later. Investigators say that man had what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot. We learned just hours ago the girl was a 6th grader in the Medical Lake School District. The district says crisis supports available for students and staff at every school. KREM 2 News spoke with the girl's family and they asked us that we not release her name. Let's switch gears and go now to Nightbeat for a quick look at the day's top stories. A former Pasco police officer accused of murdering a sex worker in Spokane back in the 80s returns to court this week. Richard Aguirre is charged with first-degree murder for the death of 27-year-old Ruby Doss. Her body was found in 1986 in East Spokane. Then in 2015, a forensic scientist said DNA from the murder scene matched Aguirre. In 2021, he stood trial for murder for the first time, but the jury failed to reach a unanimous verdict, ending in a mistrial. This time, Aguirre waived his right to a jury, meaning a judge will rule in the case instead of a jury. The new murder trial starts Wednesday morning. The man accused of killing a family of 4 in Kellogg stepped back in court just hours ago. Prosecutors say 31-year-old Major John Kaler admitted to shooting and killing his 4 neighbors back in June. In today's pretrial hearing, the judge checked in with both sides to make sure they're ready for trial. It's unknown when that trial begins. If convicted, he faces a maximum of life in prison. And Spokane police released a new photo of the vehicle they say is responsible for a hit-and-run crash on Saturday. The suspect's vehicle is described as a silver 2013 to 2016 Nissan Altima. That crash happened in the area of North Ash and West Everett, which is just north of Wellesley Avenue. One person was hurt in the crash, but they're expected to be okay. Anyone with information should call 911. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, head to our website, KREM.com. In the meantime, let's shift gears to talk weather right now. We got another rare day of some November sun, but it seems like we could be seeing snow by the end of the week. So to find out more, let's go right now to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. And Jeremy, can you confirm?
It's one of those ones. It's a tale of two weather systems. By the weekend, we're talking snow and rain pretty widespread across the region. But right now, it's air stagnation and concerns of air quality. Air stagnation in effect through Thursday at 11 a.m. That's why we have those air stagnation advisories in place. Those are because when it comes to our overall air quality, it is likely going to suffer at times. The reason is nothing changes. We have a ridge of high pressure in place. And what that means is all the air gets pushed down to the ground. So tonight, air quality likely remains around moderate. Tomorrow morning, it likely dips into that unhealthy for sensitive groups range. We have a ridge of high pressure overhead that doesn't go anywhere anytime soon. So the next few days, everything's the same. Afternoon highs in the mid-30s, a mix of clouds and sun, and overnight lows falling into the 20s. But as Cody mentioned, a major change is in the works as we get closer to the weekend. All of that coming up.
Jeremy, thanks so much. Well, now that Thanksgiving's come and gone, the Crescent windows return to the Davenport Grand Hotel to ring in the holiday spirit. Each of the 5 window bays on the south side of the Grand Hotel showcases scenes featuring figurines that had been rescued from the basement of the former Crescent department store. The windows will be lit up Fridays and Saturdays from noon to 10 at night and Sunday through Thursday from 3 to 8 p.m. Another Spokane favorite kicks off this week. Christmas tree elegance starts tomorrow across downtown. In it, 16 decorated trees have been scattered through the historic Davenport Hotel and River Park Square. Now, with these trees, you'll also find gifts valued up to almost $5,000, and you can also buy a ticket for a chance to win one. The Spokane Symphony Associates puts on the Christmas tree elegance. All proceeds go towards supporting the symphony. Happening tomorrow, the results of the 2023 general election are set to be certified. Nadine Woodward officially conceded to candidate Lisa Brown on November 13th in the Spokane mayor's race after Brown maintained a sizable lead each time results were released. At last check, Brown received 52% of votes, while Woodward only received 48%. Several other important races will be certified tomorrow, including the race for Spokane City Council president. Candidate Kim Please conceded the race to Betsy Wilkerson on November 14th. Wilkerson's the first woman and first person of color elected to the position. Tonight, Spokane City Council voted unanimously to adopt a $1.2 billion budget for the 2024 fiscal year. This is the budget Mayor Nadine Woodward delivered at the beginning of the month. She said Spokane continues to wrestle with financial uncertainty related to inflation, labor contract increases, and homelessness. Council also agreed to disband the budget committee to better address difficult budgetary decisions. Well, heading over the state line now, Idaho is asking the Supreme Court to allow its strict abortion law to go into effect while the appeals process plays out. The state's Defense of Life Act is a near total ban on abortion. The only exceptions if the mother's life is at risk. The Justice Department sued the state, claiming the law interferes with a federal Medicare statute. The law had been on hold pending appeal, but that hold's been lifted. Well, the public began honoring the life of former First Lady Rosalynn Carter today. Mourners gathered at the Jimmy Carter Library and Museum in Atlanta to mark the first of 3 days of tributes.
When asked what she wanted to be remembered for, she said, "I would like to think that people understood that I took advantage of the opportunities that I was given, and I did the best that I could." And I have to say, Mrs. Carter did more than that.
99-year-old former President Carter, who's in home hospice care in Plains, Georgia, is expected to attend tomorrow's services in Atlanta, but that may be a last-minute decision.